Alrighty, you dead set legends. What is going on? And welcome to the Ready Bang, the number one arm wrestling call-in show on the planet. I am your host, the Aussie ArmWrestler. And of course, I am your 2019 Melbourne Cup left arm, 80 to 95 kilo, third place getter. There it is. It is there and coming off. Fresh off King of the Table. Sorry. I'm just very, very proud. Very proud of that. If you're in the comments, give us a ready bang as I'll go through a few things. And then if anyone calls up, fantastic. If no one calls up, I'm pretty sure I'm happy to tell you some stories about King of the Table 5. I just released a video, if you haven't watched it, about the 5 things you didn't know about King of the Table. I broke down the fourth wall, just to give you some fun little tidbits, some fun little, things that happen behind the scenes that sometimes when I see at arm wrestling events, you don't really get to see. I tried as much throughout the show I was filming before the press conference, before the event, right before the event to show you what was going on. But let's get a ready bang. But at the moment, just head over. Look at those bad boys, hey? Old School Labs. Just 15% off. Code word, bang. Because it's the number one catchphrase in the world, and it got to happen at King of the Table 5. And then head over. Look at this. My YouTube and Patreon bangers. For as little as 50 cents a week, you are helping out the Aussie ArmWrestler. You guys are so much. It really genuinely helps what I do. You might think, 50 cents a week isn't a much, but if I can I've got all these superstars so far helping me out, and it all goes back to King. I was about to say it all goes back to King's Table 5. No, it all goes back to the channel. Right. Who is in the chat? Jake Ward Arm Wrestling. I call him Jake Ward Arm Wrestling. I don't know. It's JWAW. How long's the show? I'm only going to go no longer than 90 minutes, and then everyone's going to head over to Uncle John's channel because he's going to talk about his upcoming event in November, and he's going to have a lot of people involved in that event on the show. It's another Beers with Bad Company / his upcoming event. So we'll go there. Jordan Davis, Arm Wars, superstar and compatriot. Another one of my Aussies says, bang, bang, baby, at work, but have a cracker. I'll watch later. Performance enhancing pancakes. My guy says, ready, bang. JR, how long have you been on? 3 minutes. 3 minutes. The link is pinned if you want to call in and have a chat about King of the Table. It's also in the descriptions. I'll quickly go through the rules at the moment. Drummer Boy in the chat. Ready, bang. Sasquatch. My man. Ready, bang. One of my Patreon bangers in Danjon 73 says, ready, bang. JR Williams just giving us a ready, bang. It was just awesome. The Ready Bang Gang in the house, says Swedish Vikings. Slapping the baseline intro. Ready, bang. Good day, gents. So let's get into it. Just quickly, the rules. Depending on how many people call, the last call-in show was a success. I didn't have enough time to really promote it this week. So, things have just been... I was a little bit tired this morning. My wife, for the first time probably ever, had to wake me up, and she was like, are you going to do a show today? And I was like, oh, bloody hell. So I was like, here we go. Where can I start for King of the Table until we get our first caller? King of the Table 5, from the moment I arrived, I made sure it was a genuine whirlwind. It was awesome. Keithy Thomas, morning, Jake. Thought I'd pop in to see you live before I go to bed. Great commentary on the matches. Thank you very much, my man. Drummer Boy says, so WTF is Pin 'em All. It's another channel that's doing a lot for arm wrestling. Go check those bad boys out. they've got some good stuff. I think they may be based in Germany. The first time I heard of them was when Prudnik and Leonidas had a bit of a fun exhibition super match. So yeah, once I turned up, I was 15 minutes late to be hanging out with like Ryan Bowen and Dave Chafee. I was supposed to be on that podcast, but once again, I think I am jinxed when it comes to flying. I'm supposed to land at this time. I was supposed to land at a time and I didn't land. And then out of nowhere, I finally get some Wi-Fi and I'm like, like literally as Dave Ryan and Mark Boyd were leaving, I think like 30 seconds later, I arrived at the hotel. So it was good. It was really good. And then of course we had the lemon race. That was actually more fun than what I thought, because they were like, oh, hey, we're all going to meet here for a sponsors thing. And I was like, oh, no, it's going to be another bed-making competition like Devon and Levan did at King of the Table 4. And they're like, oh, we're going to do a lemon race, like an egg and spoon race here in Australia. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And it was a lot more fun. I mean, it only went for like 5 minutes, and the winner got a 60-minute voucher. Massage voucher. I shouldn't say 60-minute voucher. 60-minute massage voucher. So I was like, that was badass. That was badass. So it was a lot more fun than making a bed. I've pinned the link to the description if anyone wants to call in and ask a question about King of the Table 5 or something for King of the Table 6. The link is in the description. And then from there, it was, right, go hang out for an hour. We'll be back for the rules meeting, which was quite funny. Khaled wasn't there for a few people weren't there for the rules meeting. Morozov, Dada Khan weren't there for the rules meeting. Khaled wasn't there for the rules meeting. And it wasn't, like, I know everyone was dunking on Khaled a lot, but like he lives 45 minutes away. So he wasn't at the hotel like the rest of us. He lives like 45 minutes away and he has to catch an Uber, or a taxi or something to get there. And depending where you are in Dubai, it can be very, very expensive. Like I paid like $9 for a bottle of water, but then like $2 for a cookie. But then like I went to Nando's and paid we split the bill between the four of us and it was like $40 each for Nando's, which like here in Australia, it's like 15. But then I got some room service, some quality room service, and that was like $20 Australian. So it was really, depending where you went, it was like super cheap, and then it wasn't. It was, there was no in the middle. Like Dave Chafee paid $23 a gallon for gas to drive around somewhere. Like $23 a gallon. Lucky he won, because all of his prize money would have been just to driving around Dubai. So that was unbelievable. Then there was, of course, we had, from there, what else did we have? It was just a whirlwind. So we had the rules meeting. Tim Talmadge was in charge of the rules. He was reading off. Oh, look, I wanted to call him that, but I also wanted to have another job. So I thought, hang on, if we've got a caller, please tell me this is the real performance enhancing pancakes.
All right, I don't know if I'm coming through or not, but what's up?
Yes,
can you hear me? Hey.
It is that sweet voice that if I ever have a fight with my wife, I'm just going to play a performance-enhancing pancake video, and that will put my baby to sleep. I'll tell you what, this guy is killing it. Guys, as I introduce my guest, so I have tried to get performance-enhancing pancakes on the show, but he likes to keep his mystique, which, when he explained it to me, I absolutely love. Because sometimes, like, I love magic. I'm a nerd. I love magic. I don't want to know how the tricks are done. I don't care. Obviously, it's not real magic, but I want to see. I don't care how you got the phone in the beer bottle. I just love it. And I love what this guy is doing. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Performance Enhancing Pancakes.
Oh man, I don't think I've ever gotten an introduction in my life, but even if I had, that would have been the best one ever by far. So thank you, Jake. I appreciate it.
No, thank you.
Oh,
Thank you
man.
for calling in and having a chat. If everyone in the comments section, this is Performance Enhancing Pancakes. Drummer Boy knows what's up. He says, PEP.
Oh wait, I'm gonna see. Can I see the chat at the same time? I'm a little bit tech-tarded, Jake. I think.
You should be able to if you're on the
Oh
show.
wait, yeah, I got it. Wait. Okay, there we go. There we go.
It should be on the side of your.
Okay. I think I've got it in another tab, so this should work out. All right. Hey, well, first of all, I just wanted to say, dude, you absolutely killed it at King of the Table. That was so good. Like shades of Neil pickup, everything. I got goosebumps just watching it. So perfect. I know I've told you that probably enough times now, but it was amazing. So
cheers, my man.
Yeah.
It was really cool. Like I've said on other shows, like I really wanted to represent like all the guys. Like I wanted to represent everyone. So it felt like you guys have made it because you guys have all. I mean, a lot of people in the chat now have been there since almost the beginning, and like yourself, you got on the channel early, and we've been talking off camera quite a bit, supporting each other, trying to build both of our channels up. Which I think probably by now you've overtaken me, which I love. How many subs are you at now?
I think I just hit like 7,500, so we'll see.
But I said by the end of October you'd overtake me.
It might happen. It might happen. I hope that you get another boost, and then I got more work to do. But we got to get you to 10K as well.
It was. Look, we've got JR Williams in the chat. JR Williams, hold on for 5 or 10 minutes, mate. We'll get you on the show. Let's talk King of the Table, my man.
Oh, dude. Okay. Well, one question. I don't know if you can disclose this or not, but I was really curious because this is probably the best event I have ever seen before. Do you know how many pay-per-view sales they got on this one compared to the previous King of the Tables? Or are you allowed to talk about that?
So it's really weird. So I'm just trying to think what I can and can't say.
Okay.
Actual numbers, I'm probably not allowed to disclose, but so King of the Table 4 was the most successful. And when I was told the number, I was like, wow. Then what had happened was during King of the Table 5, 3 of us were told if we can hit a particular target, you may or may not get a bonus.
Right.
So we're still actually waiting on because we haven't got actual final numbers yet, mate, because it was only, I think, yesterday you could was your last chance to buy the pay-per-view because now all the matches are on Larry Wheels' channel. So the way the process works is depending on people's bank accounts, like sometimes you don't get the money for like 3 or 4 days. So yes, all of these pay-per-views were bought, but the number was healthy. Let's say that.
Okay. Yeah, dude, it was an incredible event, man. So, what was it like to be surrounded by all these real life superheroes? Because I see them so much on YouTube and it's almost like they're not even real. You know what I mean? Like, what was it like to just be able to go up and talk to Dave Chafee or go talk to Vitaly Laletin? Like,
it was awesome, man. When I first saw them all come in, so we were being summoned for the being summoned for like the lemon race. We all had to meet in one of the restaurants, and they literally, it wasn't planned, but they literally all came in like a Russian doll. So Ryan Bowen walked in, and then Lachlan walked in and we were talking. Then it was Irakli. Then it was Dave. Then it was Schoolboy. Then it was Vitaly. Like they just kept getting bigger and bigger as they came in. And because the because the way I am, I've got no problem whatsoever. If you've got 1 subscriber or you've got 1 million, 2 million subscribers, and you're a part of the event, I'm coming up and having a chat with you. So it was awesome. I mean, awesome doesn't really describe it, because like I did an Instagram story just the other, I think it was this morning or yesterday, and it literally says from the kitchen bench to king of the table. So
yeah.
My first podcast was, I used to do everything from a kitchen bench, quickly run downstairs and get going. But yeah, when I'm running around the room, and it's like, oh yeah, I turn over this shoulder, and Vitaly and Morozov, are just hanging out, and oh yeah, I'll just gotta go over and say hi to Dave and his wife. Hey guys, come with me. Hey, this is Alex Toproll and his brother Sasha, or Schoolboy. So it was unbelievable. And then Larry Wheels pops up, and I was even excited meeting like the behind the scenes crew, like to officially meet CEO. Raw Sports, Donna Dries. I think the big thing for me is realizing most of these guys have legs, because I usually only talk to these guys on this screen, and I'm like, whoa, well, you got some legs. But yeah, probably, as a sports fan, I was like, untouchable. This is unreal. But then the tiny bit, and then a tiny bit of me when I was like, in the moment, it might sound egotistical or something like that. I'm not sure, but I was just turning around because I was pumped up. I was just like, fuck yeah, this is where I belong. I belong here. I'm up on this level. And then, the press conference came, and Ryan, a little fun little tidbit I didn't put in my last video. Ryan Bowen had his phone, and I think he was on Larry's channel. Just what he really loves numbers. So he's like, he's like, cool, we had 1,200 or 13 or whatever. And he came up to me. He came up to me and he was like, man, good job. And I was like, well, you're my mate. You got to say this. And he was like, no, I had it live here, and it was fucking insane. Like, you're the only person in the world to crush the internet with positive talk. Because it was just amazing.
Yeah, dude, you deserve to be there 100%. Has it even like fully set in yet that you just commentated like the best arm wrestling event ever? You're like in the shower and just like, oh my gosh, I just commentated King of the Table 5. Like,
yes and no. It was quite funny. I was flying home, and I got jammed in the middle of 2 people that were asleep. So I couldn't bloody move or anything. And as we all know, I'm always constantly adjusting because I'm here. And then at one stage, I was just sitting there. I can't even remember what I was watching. And I just went, oh. And I just got goosebumps all on my arm. And like, I still have the King of the Table shirt on. And I was like, that was something else, to even, like, I got the most airtime out of anyone. And even all the athletes, mate, when you have Europeans that can't speak English, come up and tell you did a good job, you've done something right.
Oh yeah.
But dude, this will sit for a while. This will definitely sit for a while. Like when I go, because they're all on Larry's channel. So like when I go rewatch it or rewatch the press conference and the pre-show, because I like to ensure that I improve. I hate watching myself, but I like to pick at things, mate, just to ensure, because I always want to get better. Like, yes, I did a good job, or, some people say a great job or smashed it out the park. But instead of, say, hitting a 450 home run, I want to hit a 500-foot home run next time. So,
yeah. Now, can you talk about that at all? Has anybody reached out to you and said, yes, you're officially invited to the next one, or?
Well,
is that not
performance enhancing pancakes? You're just fucking stoking at the fire, aren't you? I thought we were mates. One little thing. I do love it though, because I'm a huge. If you're new, performance enhancing pancakes has his own channel and he's crushing it at the moment. So please subscribe to my mate here. JR Williams, thank you so much for your patience, mate. I'll see you waiting very patiently.
Yeah, sorry, I'm taking up way too much time.
No, you're right, mate. Very excited because we've been chatting, just through Instagram. So it's good to actually have a chat with guy that sometimes puts my baby to sleep. So it's always good to have a chat. So what had happened was, and I understand it was in the moment. So I believe it was like round 4 or 5 of Schoolboy versus Khalid. And I just saw Don Adrice just taking a moment because he's a very busy man on the day. Man, Energizer Bunny. And so I went and just went up to him and said, hey, Don, just want to thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for I'm a very grateful person. Thank you for taking a shot on this weird Australian dude. And then he turns to me and he goes, oh, fuck off. Don't say that, man. You're a part of the Core Sports family. And I was like, what?
Oh.
And I was fist pumping. And I was like, fuck yeah.
That's
He comes
so
and gives
cool.
me a big hug and things like that. So yeah, it was pretty cool. So fingers crossed, that thought still stays with him.
Oh, dude.
But once again, if people power, that's how I got there in the first place. You guys all messaging Core Sports and the crew, and if they read the comment section, fingers crossed, I'll be there for King of the Table 6.
Oh yeah. Hey, they better have you back. They will double their pay-per-view sales. Everybody knows. And I'll tell you, I sent a message to Adam Silver, and we all know how much weight my name carries, right? I told him something along the lines of, I'm going to take one of his kidneys if he doesn't have you back, because that totally made the event. So, man, I'm so happy for you, dude. That is so cool to watch you, from the very beginning, going from your commentaries on little matches and all that, and then you're live. I'm watching you on the pay-per-view at King of the Table. Is the coolest thing ever, dude.
Oh, cheers, my man. Really, really appreciate it. Really, really appreciate it, man. It was it was very surreal, and I can't imagine what it was like for everyone watching. Like, speaking to Uncle John, he was like, it was so weird. Like, you're just like, the guy that we speak to all the time, you just want to be one of the boys, and then suddenly I'm doing a live commentary that my mate is hosting. So yeah, it was awesome that, yourself and everyone else thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah. Just like watching the normal Aussie ArmWrestler stream. And then there's Dave Chafee and Vitaly Laletin just hanging out there, I guess. But
yeah.
Oh man.
No, it was awesome. All right, man. Well, I'm going to bring JR into the chat, man. So good speaking to you, and keep up the good work. Everyone go subscribe to
thank you, Jake. Hey, I appreciate you, man.
You're a superstar, mate. We'll speak soon.
Thanks, Jake. Much love, buddy.
PEP is a superstar. Eddie H, I see you there in the, if you can hold on 5 or so minutes, Eddie H. I'm going to talk to my man, JR Williams, who's always active in the live streams. I see him. He's always asking the good questions. He loves it. What's happening, JR? Nice to meet you.
Good evening, Aussie. Nice to meet you. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you loud and clear, my good man.
Yeah, I've just taking it easy, man. I just got done working out a little bit, and just turned it on YouTube and seen you had a chat going on. Figured I'd call in and see what was up.
Yeah, what is going up? Are you whereabouts are you from? Are you an arm wrestler yourself?
No. I played football for UC and Moeller High School here in Cincinnati, and did a little bit of powerlifting, and I never competed in arm wrestling. Actually just got into it recently, the past few years, and been following a couple people on YouTube the past few years, and I'm really impressed by how the sport's taken off with King of the Table. And when the pandemic happened, I wasn't sure that it was gonna, if it was gonna bounce back, and it really has, surprisingly.
It was unreal with that, because that's when I started. So I had a whirlwind. So what had happened was, I'd started my Instagram channel and YouTube channel, but I was going to go, hey, from one national championships to another. I was just going to document that. And then my brother, the famous story, he was the one that told me to start commentating, and then I put me comedic Aussie flavor on it. But during the pandemic, I came at a very good time because it was like the world needed a laugh. And my early videos, I'm like, fuck this and fuck that, rah, rah. And a lot of arm wrestlers, I mean, they're accessible as it is, but a lot of them had nothing to do. We were all locked up. So I'm like, hey, man, want to come on the show and let me take your mind off things for an hour? And okay, who's this weird guy with like 50 subs? And, he's that guy that screams on Instagram and things like that. So, yeah, it went well. And it almost dipped a little bit because the pandemic went for way too long. But, it helped the sport, because then a lot of people had, like, watched so much on YouTube and they're like, I'm running out of things to watch. And then suddenly everyone started watching arm wrestling.
It was just incredible, that King of the Table 5. I mean, I felt like I was a kid again watching that Over the Top movie for the first time. Like, every match, it was just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Hats off to all the athletes, core sports, and even yourself for being a part of that, man. That was definitely epic.
Yeah, but I could. Yeah, it wasn't until probably 24 hours later, because when I was watching, I was there at the event, and I was like, shock value, Carlet upsets Schoolboy, and then I was like, the masterclass, Irakli decimates my man Lockie, the absolute blockbuster match, which was match of the night in any other event except for this one, with Morozov and Dadakian. Watching one of my best mates in the world, Ryan, win his match 4-0 and then jump in the commentary booth, and then, of course, the main event. I was like, this is one of the best events ever. And then I was like, maybe it's just because I was there. I was getting ahead of myself. And then, like, everyone's like, oh, my God, that was one of the best events ever. Even, like, being in Dave Chafee's corner for one of the best matches of all time was pretty epic.
I really liked that Dennis Plankoff was there. He's kind of probably my favorite arm wrestler, because he just strikes me as such a humble dude, and somebody that could just, crush your throat with one hand, probably, And
his hand is something else, JR. His hand, I felt everyone's hand there, and when I shook his hand, by far the strongest.
Did you ever see that HBO documentary on Andre the Giant? He kind of reminds me of his hand a little bit, maybe, whatever that was like.
Yeah, it was just so thick. It was like, it was just a very indescribable. I hope everyone gets a chance like I did. I got to have a podcast with Dennis. Dennis thought I was awesome for the sport, which blew my mind when he told me after our little 15-minute podcast that we did. Yeah, Dennis. And the best thing is, Dennis is just such a fun guy. He's a humble guy. He doesn't care where you are on the arm wrestling scale. And what I mean by that is he's one of the greatest to ever do it. One of the greatest to ever do it. After our podcast, I was sitting there. We turned up for the press conference, and I had my back to when he was walking in. And he comes up and puts his hands on my shoulders. And he's like, hey, we'd only spoken a few hours earlier. And it's like, Dennis didn't need to do that to this dude with a couple of subs on YouTube, So he was awesome.
Well, you're more famous than what you think,
Yeah, I'm still a bit weirded out by that word, JR, if truth be told, because I just see myself as one of the boys. For me, I'm no different to everyone in the chat. I'm no different to anyone that supports the channel. I'm just exactly like you. But yes, the little bit, maybe a few more people in our wrestling will know who I am. So,
well, you're relatively unknown to me, and I used to watch Ryan Bowen's channel a lot, and I don't anymore. I have my reasons. But then I saw this guy on there going ready bang. I'm like, who is that guy? Is that somebody famous? I know I've seen him somewhere. And yeah, that's kind of how I got introduced to your channel. So that's kind of a little weird story, but that's what happened. So
Well, there you go. That's you know, so you know, sometimes Ryan Bowen gets a lot of bad rap, but you got to find the Aussie arm wrestler through his channel. So sometimes, you know, there's always a shining light out of things. Unfortunately, for a lot of people that support my channel, you know, Ryan Bowen will be heavily involved because as much as, and I totally get it. A lot of people don't like him, and I'm not trying to persuade anyone. You have your own reasons, and that's cool. But I think like where he get Eddie H, don't worry, you'll be on the show soon, my man. Thank you for waiting patiently. But like little things like, so during the whole weekend, I'm down talking to Matt Rhodes, trying to, you know, working here when we can do a podcast. And suddenly I come upstairs and I've missed messages from Ryan, and Ryan's waiting outside of my room. He's plugged into the side, you know, sitting in the hallway, still working. Like the guy's work ethic is really good. And he has been, you know, ever since I was at 40 subscribers and he came on the show, he's like, yeah, you're the guy, whatever I can do to help. And he's constantly always been helping me out to get to where I am. So, but I do understand a lot of people don't like him, and that's cool. But yeah, unfortunately, he's one of my best mates.
I won't go on, but I just didn't like how I felt like he backed down to Devin on a few things, and that's kind of why I lost respect for him, to be honest with you.
Yep, and that is fine. That's totally fine. That was a whole.
Because I used to watch all of his videos. I mean, that was my main arm wrestling channel.
Yeah.
Because he does do a good job about like in-depth analysis and really explaining techniques and stuff. But that's what happened. Now I don't watch him anymore. So, but are you going to be like the mainstay, like announcer for King of the Table moving forward, or is there any contracts, or what's the deal?
So I did get a good indication during the event. Like Don Adri said, you know, you're a part of the Core Sports family. So I don't know if that was a in the moment type thing. But once again, people power. People power, you know, if everyone sits there and comments on, you know, like even all the matches that have come out and they're like, oh, Aussie was awesome, and or they message Core Sports and say it would be unreal, because that's what's got me there, people power. So if we continue to drive that, look, I can't see why not. I hope I am. I hope I'm a part of the King of the Table family for many years to come. But who knows what tomorrow brings? You know, we'll just have to wait and see. And fingers crossed, I'm there in February.
I think though you'll forever kind of be a legend, be attached to that King of the Table 5, you know, that event and moment. So it kind of made you a part of the brand in my mind.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was. I mean, I had the most airtime out of anyone, which was epic. Like I hosted the pre-show, then I'm always introducing the athletes. Hosted the press conference pre-show, introducing all the athletes, interviewing them after their wins, or sometimes like Dadakan and Morozov with their epic matchup. Got to interview Dennis, all the special guests. It was something else.
I just have one more question and I got to go.
Absolutely, mate.
Do you think we could see Schoolboy versus Bowen for King of the Table 6? I mean, I think it makes sense.
Well, what makes more sense is Ryan versus Khaled fresh on fresh. So I think that's the way they're going to be heading for King of the Table 6. I believe the negotiations are already there. I mean, after the event, I was standing there and we're all talking, like Ryan, Khaled, I think Khaled's manager or his friend, and we're like, let's have a go fresh on fresh, you know. I would love to see Schoolboy versus Ryan, absolutely. But, yeah, I believe they're going to go the route of Khaled and Ryan Bowen. There's a third person I'd love to throw into the mix, but I'm tempted to hold on because I wouldn't mind making a video about it, to be honest. So I don't want to give away the person who I actually think should pull Khaled.
Being totally impartial, you think Ryan would stand a better chance against Khaled than Schoolboy, or no, not necessarily, or
yeah, I think Khaled. I think Schoolboy didn't. I wouldn't say pull intelligently, but yeah, he didn't go about it. His game plan wasn't right for Khaled. Now, will his game plan be right against Ryan and be able to dominate him that way? It'd be a very tough match for Ryan and Schoolboy. It'd be a very tough match for Ryan for sure.
Yeah, he's definitely gotten stronger since he lost to Ray.
Oh, well, there's 16 kilos difference. I don't know if you've ever jumped in a sauna for like an hour, 2 hours at a time. It is draining.
I try not to. No.
Yeah. And to drop so much weight. So, look, I don't know if Ryan would have won if he came in the way he did. But, yeah, he got to eat and just beat his natural weight. Yeah, it would have been better if it was like that. So, hopefully we'll see that in the future. Well, there you go, Ryan, in the chat. So, hey, mate, just about to fly to Brisbane from Sydney. Khaled is pretty much a lock. There you go. Ryan is in the chat there. So, yeah, that's the way I
mean, that's still an intriguing matchup. You know, Khaled obviously probably thinks he would beat him fresh. So, and Ryan. So, yeah, I mean, that makes sense, too.
There you go.
I'm sure Bowen will probably maybe, try to come in as big as he can.
Yeah, and I've got a feeling like why I am dying to get to King of the Table 6, why I'd love to, and this is why I really need each and every one of you, because in my mind, what could be happening is Ryan versus Khaled, possibly a rematch with Dave and Vitali.
Wow.
Denis Saplenkov is competing. And then, of course, you'll have most likely there Levan versus the winner of Hermes and Jerry.
Man.
That's why I want to be there. Ryan says he's going to be 110 kilos for Khaled in February. Oop. So
what is that? Like 235 or?
Yeah, around that. All righty, I'm going to bring in Eddie H, my man. It was good meeting you, JR. Thank you so much for your support on the channel. Yeah.
God bless you, man. Have a good night.
Thanks, buddy. Eddie H,
hello.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can. How are you, mate?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you so much for calling into the show. Whereabouts are you from?
I'm from Ohio, so United States.
There you go. Go Buckeyes.
It's not much arm wrestling here, which is unfortunate, but I still I love watching it. So,
do you do any yourself?
A little bit here and there, but not like serious, just for fun for the most part.
Yeah, beautiful. Did you catch King of the Table 5, my man?
I did. What a show that was. That was one of the greatest cuts or even arm wrestling things I've ever seen. It was really fun to watch.
Oh, it was something else. The event from start to finish was just spectacular, and to be there myself was just something else. You got a few people in the chat that are happy about Ohio, which is good.
Yeah. I appreciate it.
Have you got a question, my man?
Yeah. What do you think about a Dave Dennis rematch? Like we saw from like 2013, 2014, they always had those good battles and such. And I would honestly want to see it again. What do you think?
Oh, look, I definitely want to see it again. Absolutely. But there, if you are looking at promotion and building the sport and just wanting to really nail your pay-per-views, Dave is probably third in line for that matchup.
Mhm.
If I were a promoter, first off, it's a no-brainer. John Brzenk versus Denis Saplenkov.
Oh,
That's the way
definitely.
I was going to do. Say then from there, say Dennis manhandles John. Let's just say that happens. Manhandles John. Then you would look for Dennis to go against LeVar.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I do. But then even in between, it could be a stepping stone. Okay, Dennis beat John. Then yes, you could have King of the Table 7, Dennis versus Dave. I know a lot of purists will want to see them two go head to head. I mean, you had that epic match before Game of Arms when Dave Chafee won. You had the A1 Russian Open when Dennis got revenge. There was so much. For me, Dave Chafee is one of those arm wrestlers where it's like Dave Chafee versus a broomstick. I don't care.
Yeah.
It'll be amazing. Oh, Captain Obvious, you're right. Sorry. Dave Chafee goes number 4 because, yes, of course, Devin Larratt versus Denis Saplenkov. Right-handed, which is a match that has never happened.
I just want to say you did a great job at the whole King of the Table event. It was really a blast to watch and it made my afternoon really fun.
Oh, thanks, man. I really appreciate it. Yeah, well, it was really going to be a hit or miss because I understand a lot of people don't really enjoy because I'm just a loud guy. I'm up and about, so yeah, a lot of people aren't the biggest fans, but I seem to have won a lot of people over, or a lot of people have been introduced to what I was able to do. So I really appreciate it, Eddie. I really appreciate each and every one that sent awesome messages, because you guys don't have to, especially in the world that we live in 2022. It's all about negativity. So the fact that so many people wanted to reach out about what I was able to bring to King of the Table, I'm very, very grateful about it all. And the fact that you've taken time out of your day, Eddie, to, you could easily be, having dinner with family or watching bloody a sports center or something, but the fact that you wanted to call in, ask a couple of questions and tell me that, mate, I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, it was really awesome to watch Dave and Vitaly and Artem. It was just a blast.
Oh, it was unreal. And to even be in Dave's corner, even Dada Khan kept walking past me during his matchup and just seeing how he goes about it. I was like, damn, that was epic for me, just as an arm wrestling fan. And like when I first went over to Dave, he didn't tell me to go away, because I'm not an elite puller. I'm just an elite voice. He was, and Dave's constantly messaging me saying, thanks, man. Thank you so much for your support. Thanks for being in my corner. I was like, not a problem.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. Have you got any other questions, my man?
I was gonna ask one more thing. Like, I always see how big these pullers' hands are. Are they really that big in real life? Because I always see how massive they are. Because I saw a comparison on Reddit of somebody's hands, and they just look absolutely huge.
They are. They're as every bit as big as you see them. So no word of a lie. Carl had put we were having a chat after the event, and Carl had put his palm here, and literally his finger was touching the top of my head.
Wow.
Yeah. Denis Saplenkov's hand's so thick, it's like a rock boulder. Yeah, I could maybe just get to the top of his webbing when we were shaking hands. There's a fun little picture on my community page on YouTube with Dennis's hand over my face, and it just covers it easy.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
it is true. There's nothing photoshopped about any of these pullers' hands. It is massive.
Yeah, it is really insane.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much for calling in, Eddie. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. I really appreciate it. And hopefully when I do another call-in show, you come back and jump in. Thank you so much for contributing.
No problem. You have a good day.
You too, Eddie. All righty. Let me bring in one of my favorite people on the planet. Connect your mic, Sarah.
Is it working?
Yes,
Yay!
there we go, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know who this lovely lady is, her and her husband contribute so much to the arm wrestling world. You'll see her husband later on this afternoon. They're going to have Tim Talmadge on the show, a part of Your Morning BJ, and her husband is the J in BJ. That is Jason Latona. Sarah's always behind the scenes helping out with that show. A genuine superstar puller in herself. But more importantly, before we start talking about kicking the table, more importantly, my good friend here, Sarah, is taking on Mrs. Monster Todd December 10th at the Monster Factory pay-per-view. Ladies and gentlemen, can we all please say hello to Sarah
Yeah.
Latona?
Hi, everybody. Hello.
How are you
hello.
going, my friend?
Yeah, really good, really good. I'm actually going to be doing, if you guys haven't noticed, if you don't follow me on Instagram or anything like that, I am doing the strip curl competition at Olympia.
Yes. I love that
yeah.
nation.
Yeah, so that is a week after my match with Rebecca Todd.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So we're
So
actually
you just want to
putting...
smash your body.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone's
we're
calling you a
putting it-
studette, Sarah. I think
Thank
you've got a new
you,
nickname.
thank
Everyone's calling you a
Ooh, I like
studette.
that. I like that.
The lady
That's
could be a
good.
studette. Sarah fits the bill.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. The most that I have straight curled is 100 pounds. The national record is around that weight. So the fact that I haven't trained for strict curl, it's a pretty decent amount of weight. So I think the national record or the world record is like 115, 117 for my weight class. So we're going to get as close to that as possible. Brandon Allen is actually going to be, well, he's my coach for my strict curl coach. So Jason's the one who got me my strength, and Brandon's the one who's going to take my strength and put it into strict curl.
Just quickly explain to everyone who doesn't know what the strict curl competition is. Just quickly explain what an actual strict curl is for the competition.
Okay, so a strict curl is your feet have to be 12 to 18 inches away from the wall. Your hips and buttocks area has to be touching the wall. Your shoulders have to be touching the wall. Now, there are different competitions that you can do and different federations. The federation that I'm doing, my head has to stay on the back of the wall as well. So the only thing that I'm using is my shoulders, bicep, and chest to get everything up. So I'm not using any of my shifting weight or anything like that. I'm literally just lifting it up.
Oh, beast. I do like this from Luckadoo. Can everyone in the comments, best of 5 super match? It is Sarah versus Mrs. Monster Todd, Rebecca. Both awesome, awesome people. And we will have a bit of a face-off on my channel closer to the event with both of them. Can we give us, everyone, get your scores in. Give them a flex, Sarah. Give them a bicep flex. Tell them, look at that, hey? I'm so happy I'm wearing sleeves. I can tell you that now.
My forearms are coming in as well. I'm so happy.
There you go. Now,
I've got nothing but good things to say about Rebecca. She's very inspirational. She looks absolutely ridiculous for her age. Age is just a number when it comes to that woman. Same thing with Michael Todd. Like they look absolutely amazing. They look absolutely amazing. She is a very
Oh,
inspirational person. When she posts stuff, I'm like, well, I got to get in the gym too. So she's very inspirational for me as well. So the two of us actually work off of each other, which is great. I don't need to bash somebody or make fun of anybody or anybody. I'm not that type of person.
yeah,
I'm going to let the table do the talking.
yeah.
So that's it.
There you go.
I'm
I
a-
mean,
I'm a very respectful person when it comes to stuff like that.
yeah, and that's fine, and because it can
Yeah.
work both ways. I mean, we had
Yeah, of
at King
course.
of the Table, we had the jaw jacking between Ryan and Khaled, but then when we
Yep.
spoke to both Dave and Vitali, they were
Yeah.
like, "I love you, I love you."
Respect
First
for
time
each
ever,
other.
respect. Yeah,
Yep.
there's an awesome balance. Everyone doesn't
Yes.
need to be ripping their throats off. We're gonna get enough of that between John and Michael.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
them two are
exactly.
gonna go
We
at
don't
it.
need any more other than that.
That's right. So we're gonna have you
Yeah.
guys. Now I know you're an arm
Yeah.
wrestling purist. You love the sport
Yes.
just as much as anyone I know. How awesome was King of the Table?
I am a loss for words. I thought it was absolutely amazing. I actually loved Tim Talmadge as the ref. I think he was great. He didn't take any shit. He literally was straightforward and was like, nope, if you do this, you get a foul. I love that. And I mean, the guy that was like presenting everybody, he was okay. But
I had to think about that for a moment. I was like, who was
No,
that dick
that-
that slipped through my fingers? Like, who was that
That
idiot?
guy.
Oh no, wait.
no, it was you. You were awesome. You did such a great job. The little hiccups here and there, you were on top of it. You literally brushed to the side. Nobody thought about those little hiccups. It was great. Coming from an entertainment background, you did it flawlessly. So if anybody hasn't told you yet, amazing job. Amazing
Oh,
job
thank
for
you.
keeping it going and not stopping. I loved it. Loved it. Great job. Great
Thank
job.
you. Yeah, I really hate I hate dead air. I really hate dead air. And when it came to I was reading some of the comments about microphone issues. Like I have no idea. So fun fact about the press conference, they didn't connect the microphone to a speaker at the press conference. So the people that were standing,
you couldn't hear yourself.
No, I didn't have any. And even when I had my thing in there, I couldn't hear myself.
Yeah.
Well, I can hear myself. I'm too loud. But even the people that were standing next to the camera. So like Coach Ray was 4 meters away, 5 meters away, and he couldn't hear what the athletes were saying. It was only the people on the stream. So when it came to microphone issues or sound issues, I genuinely had no idea, because if I did, I would have been all over it.
Yeah, but you did a great job. Again, I've been in entertainment since I was 3 years old. Jason said the same thing too. The fact that you kept everything going, it was great. You didn't stop when there were little hiccups. Like I said, you just rushed right through it.
Yeah, I mean, for me,
entertainment 101.
No, that's right, and you know better than anyone, Sarah. The show must go on. Must go on. One little thing. A part of me thoroughly enjoyed when things go wrong, because, by the way, killer Back to the Future 2 hat. I'm digging the hat. I am digging your hat. It's got a bit of a Marty McFly Back to the Future feel to it. The colors.
It's the Sin City Iron, the gym that I work at. I'm actually the only one that has this hat.
Oh, that's what happens when you're the boss. When you're the big boss. But
I'm the general manager for it.
Nice. One thing I do enjoy when things go wrong is it gives me an opportunity to show everyone what I'm about. So, like I entered a press conference with 5 non-speaking English athletes and one guy that gave me one-word answers in Khaled. Great. It's so funny. Off camera, couldn't shut him up when I was talking to him afterwards. And I was like, where was that at the press conference? But
you have to understand too, a lot of people have stage fright.
Yep.
So whether they're in front of a camera like this or whether they're in front of, thousands of people, they get stage fright. For me, for you, for people like us, we don't have that.
Yeah.
We thrive.
We love it. Get
In
more
that
cameras.
type
Not
of
enough
feeling.
cameras. Not enough cameras.
Yeah.
Get some more cameras on us.
The awkward moments that people don't like, we love.
Yeah.
We love it. But back to King of the
absolutely.
Table.
I mean,
every match was awesome to watch.
absolutely.
The one that surprised me the most, and probably everybody else, Alex and Khaled.
Yeah. Yeah.
100%. Or for people that don't know, Schoolboy and Khaled. That was the most surprising.
Yeah.
Out of
It
any
was
match.
Unreal. I only know 2 people that picked Khaled, and only one of them watches arm wrestling. One was Uncle John. He made a video, said Khaled will crush Schoolboy, and the other person was Mrs. Aussie Arm Wrestler.
Jess.
She got 5 out of 5. She got them all right. And I think I have to go back because I do remember her picking a silver bullet, and I can't remember what match it was, but I do have a feeling it was the main event. I
think it was that one.
So I've got to go back and
check it.
Check it. JR Williams wants to know, where are you from? You and Jason.
I am from Michigan. Jason is from Pittsburgh. So I'm from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Jason is from Pittsburgh. We actually met in Singapore.
Yes. If you haven't seen the podcast, I've done a podcast with Sarah and Jason to share their love story, and both of them have done so much performance around the world. Go back to the Aussie Arm Wrestler archives and check out my full podcast with Sarah and Jason. They want to know, do you train with women or men?
We do have a few women on our team in Vegas, but I am, not to say anything against them, but I am leaps above them when it comes to strength. So for me, I have to train with the guys. Whether I'm training with the smaller guys, whether I'm training with the bigger guys, I am 95% of the time, I'm training with men. And the best thing that someone ever said to me was from Sarah Backman. And she told me, never get discouraged as a woman in this sport. The men are only going to make you stronger.
Yeah.
When you feel a woman that trains with women and a woman that trains with men, that woman is going to feel completely different.
Oh, absolutely.
Than a woman that trains with women. Yeah. That answer is I train mostly with men. One of them is Tom, who's right here. Come here.
Tommy.
It's Aussie. So this is one of the guys.
Hey, yes, I've seen Tommy before. How are you, buddy?
Now you know that guy. That's one of my teammates. So, and my husband, I train with him all the time.
Yeah, it's awesome watching.
I mean, I have monsters on the, team here in Vegas. So it's nice having a big team like that.
We need a tag team, Sarah. How are we going to get Sarah Backman on the show?
Oh, yeah, that would be amazing. I can talk to her.
I tried reaching out to Mikey to have them both on because I don't know. I'm a guy that loves love. So if a couple comes on, but he never got.
Yeah, Sarah's like, she's one of my really good friends, and she calls me Lil Sarah. It basically means little Sarah. In where's she? Swedish.
Yeah.
So it's Lil Sarah, means little Sarah, and so we had a whole conversation about it. So that's kind of her nickname for me.
That's cute. But tell her she needs to come on the show. She hasn't accomplished
will.
everything in arm wrestling until she comes on the show.
I will. I'll ask her. I'll see if her and Mike can come on. Maybe we can have like a couples thing where me and Jason and her and Mike can come on.
Couples therapy. We'll have it all. I'll try and get Jess on as well. That'd be amazing. Yeah. But I do have to be serious in a moment. Moderators, we've got someone lurking and creeping in the chat saying, you know, he's about to say some really nasty things. I'll put his name up. I'm going to name and shame him. It's Jason. He's in there. He's in the chat. Jason's awesome. He's awesome. He's awesome. So, Jason, if you're not sure what's going on, it's a call-in show. Sarah wanted to call in a couple of weeks ago, but she was just a bit busy and we ran out of time, so she's in there. The Schmo says, Jason, first, your wife scares me, and I back out of our arm wrestling match. Now she's out strict curling me by 2 times. Reel her in. Captain Obvious wants to know, is Gabby supposed to be coming to Vegas soon to visit you guys?
Yep. So I believe she's coming mid-October? November.
Okay.
November, sorry.
Oh, November.
In November, after the Brazink Cup.
Ah, yes. Yeah. There you go, Jason, just sending it some love.
She'll be coming down.
That'll be awesome. Look at that. Oh, everyone's a bit cute. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, he's my
Benji,
biggest supporter.
Welcome.
Hey, Benji.
Yeah, you two train all the time. How do you feel being behind the scenes? When are you going to slide in on Brandon and Jason's show and just show them how to really host a show?
I'm not sure. It'll probably be closer to the match, is what they'll probably do. But for now, we're just getting the matches that are happening now, so it'll be sequential to when it'll be happening.
Yeah. Oh, it'll be so good. So yeah, guys, if you see the reason that they do go live and the reason that it runs smoothly, it's because of Sarah here. She's always behind. I know sometimes when I get a chance to watch, I'll be like, tell Sarah I said hello, and then I'll see a little hand come on the screen. Hi.
Hey.
Hi. Come in front there.
So I'm the one that does the producing and stuff like that. So I do the soundboard. I do the little dings here and there. I make sure their sound is good. I make sure everybody that calls in, that they get the email to call in and all that stuff. So I'm the one that takes care of all that.
Doing all the work, and yet Brandon and Jason just sit there each and every bloody week.
Nothing.
And take all the credit and not even mention the work that you do. Wow, right. Wait till next time. I'll have a bloody talk with them too. They're in trouble. I like being behind the scenes. I like doing that type of stuff. I like messaging the arm wrestlers and getting them on the show and stuff like that. Like, I love doing that. That's the type of thing I'm really good at. I'm a very organized person, so when it comes to stuff like that, it's literally like for me. They'll be like, "Hey, find somebody." Jason does a really good job at finding people. Brandon finds people too, but for the most part, I'm the one that messages people and gets everybody in and stuff like that. So, yeah. And it'll be a banger of a show in
With
how many hours? How many hours? 3? 3 hours? 2 hours?
Starts at 7:30. So a little less than 2 hours.
Little less than 2 hours. Brandon Allen's channel. They're going to have Tim Talmadge, head referee of King of the Table. I only had one little critique of Tim, but I've told Tim this, and Tim, I just thought the Morozov Dadakan match got away from him. Like the guys were taking too long. Like a regrip, and then he was off for 5-10 minutes. But besides that, considering Tim was refereeing, I mean, match 1 and 1 non-English speaking athlete. Match 2, 1 non-speaking English athlete. Match 3, they both didn't speak English. And match 5, 1 non-speaking English athlete. I thought Tim was stellar.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Tim did a banging job.
Yep. He did. I mean, the whole production, I think the production wise of King of the Table is one of the best, if not the best, when it comes to arm wrestling. And just the level that they keep getting every single one, it just keeps getting better every time. I think this last one was the best King of the Table.
I'm going to be a bit biased and say I think so as well. But it was awesome being there. You know, that stage. You know, got the athletes' faces, and when they walk out to the music, like being there, I was just like, oh man, that looks so cool, and I'm like, I'm the one bringing them out, and it was something else.
I can't imagine the same thing. Like when it comes to the Monster Factory, it's the same thing with King of the Table. The caliber of pullers that you get to be around, it's amazing. The King of the Table caliber that was there, all they needed was Levon there, and it would have been like, how do you beat that?
Like, it was. I was saying
Dennis
earlier.
was there.
Oh,
like how do you beat that? Like that, just the caliber that was there. It was just so cool to see. Just everybody that was there, it was so cool. So awesome. And just like my husband, we love Arackley.
Oh, he's a handsome man. He's even more handsome in public. He's a handsome man.
Ridiculous. And I love Lachlan, and I messaged him, and it's the same thing when it comes to performing. You get notes to make yourself better. Now he knows where he needs to get stronger, and 100% he will get stronger there.
Oh, absolutely. Lachlan was walking
He's the best. Yep, he is the best. When it comes to being proud, whether you lose or you win, he by far is the best to me.
He was amazing. Like afterwards, I gave him a big hug and said, "Don't worry about that, mate. You did Australia proud. You're a genuine superstar." If people might dunk on Lockie a lot, but go watch his round 5. He's just been he walked to me in the corner and went, "I've got nothing. I've got nothing right." And this is 4-0 down. You've lost the match. Yeah. Go watch match 5, and he just gives everything. He didn't back down. Yeah. He didn't give up. He goes, "I'm just going to throw every single thing that I've got." And Arackley, just did what Arackley does, holds him in the middle of the table and doesn't move. And I was just like, that was amazing. That, just to even go in there where most people are just like, nah, I'm done. I can't do anything. He goes, nah, give me another go. And then he felt a little pinch and he was like, oh, no point. I don't want to get injured.
Yeah. But that's what's so good about Lachlan is he will keep trying. He will not stop. He will literally keep trying. And that's what makes him such an inspirational puller as well. Because he's helped me with stuff like with my training and everything like that too. And he's nothing but positivity. That man is like nothing but positivity. And that's what makes him such a cool person. He's so awesome.
He is a superstar. We'll quickly get to some of the comments. J.R. Williams, thank you very much for your super chat. Says another banger. Aussie, great call-in Tuesday. Marcus knows that Jason is the Red Power Ranger. Devon's Forearm says that he loves, as well as you, Sarah, the behind-the-scenes action. Yeah. There's Jason and Sarah's YouTube page. Please go and subscribe to them all. That would be amazing because they're just amazing. What Wolf says, hey, so who won the Champion Vitaly match over the weekend? Wolf also, we're just having a laugh and a joke. What's everyone else saying? What else have we got here? Everyone's just thank you very much. Oh, Luke Kint in the chat says fantastic job on the mic, mate. Really appreciate it, Luke.
100%.
You
are absolutely right, Luke. 100%.
It was a lot of fun. Did anyone see the complaining Vitaly did in his video? Go to Core Sports. He wasn't happy about the referee.
Yeah.
I did see that, David. I did see that. Everyone's just I mean, there's only so many times I can put up comments about myself, so I do appreciate it all.
Just put them up. Just keep putting them up.
I better stop. I was pulling for Lachlan, but he was no match for the experiment Dolph Arakli Lundgren. That was awesome.
Yeah. I mean, he's a powerhouse, and he is one of the biggest reasons why I'm actually doing the strict curl competition, because his strict curl is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, it's not going to do anything but help me on the table. It's not going to do anything but help me on the table. It's going to make me stronger.
And we can't wait for that. Toronto, did Vitali fall ill after pulling or before? No, he just collapsed with exhaustion.
I was going to say it was after, right?
Yeah, it was after the match, and he just collapsed, and he had some oxygen. He was fine, but then the medics were just like, we just got to run some tests, maybe put an IV drip, get your levels back up, and he was going on for there. Well, Sarah, thank you so much for jumping on. Sarah Latona is the epitome of a dead set legend. One of my favorite people in the arm wrestling world. Her and her awesome husband, Jason. They're going to be awesome. They're going to be on YouTube in a couple of hours. So please head over to Brandon Allen's channel and see these guys interview Tim Talmadge. Sarah, it's always a pleasure, and you're always welcome on the show.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Ready? Bang!
Yes! Yes! What a genuine superstar. Everyone,
have a good one, guys.
Please say some nice things about Sarah as she leaves the show. Thank you very much, Sarah. She is awesome. And we'll bring in probably our final guest of the show. You would have seen him pop up in the comment section all the time. This is my man that is organising his first competition with his arm wrestling club on the weekend, and it breaks my heart that unfortunately I got booked for another event, and we're talking about this Sunday. He is the man behind the Canberra Arm Wrestling Club, and they have their first state championships this weekend, and from what I've heard, hundreds of pullers are coming. You've got a real sweet spot. I know some Victorians are coming up. I know all the Sydney siders will come down, and your club is growing. Of course, I'm talking about my man, Dominic Lorenz. Welcome to the show, buddy.
Hey, Jake. Thanks very much. Jake, I'm not the man behind. I'm just a member of the club, but Oscar and Hans, they're organising the tournament. Can you hear me, Jake?
I can hear you, mate. I can hear you. Yeah, absolutely.
But thanks for that. Thanks for that. Yep. I just wanted a quick question. I don't know much about Adam and Larry's relationship. Do you know how they sort of teamed up together, those two?
Yeah, so I've had Adam on the show before. So Adam is Larry's manager, good mate, and whatnot. And it was Adam that was like reaching out and hustling to work with Larry. Adam is one of the hardest working people I've ever seen. So, like, perfect example, he came up and he filmed the rules video, right? So Adam was there. He was filming the rules for King of the Table, and he's got equipment like this that you saw it over the top. What he, the kit that he wears.
Yeah,
and then from there, like, he's packing up all of his equipment, and we're all going to dinner and things like that. So he sits there and I'm like, how? He goes, oh no, I'll be fine. He doesn't come to dinner. He starts editing, and he was due to come to a MC commentators pre-show meeting at, I think it was 9 a.m. and he'd finished editing at 3 a.m. the night before, still makes the meeting before Coach Ray.
Yeah, he looks like he's a jack of all trades. Like I could see him in the background of the King of Table live stream, and he just looks like he's the director of a movie or something like. He looks like
Works
he
hard,
just.
and he organised. He was there all day because there was an amateur tournament, which you saw the finals of. You saw the finals before the event started, and he was there all day organising that, running the brackets, ensuring all the matches went well. So yeah, Adam, one of the hardest working people, definitely, and it pays off. I mean, look how awesome Larry's channel is.
Yeah, and Larry was pretty chill, just sitting there in his white gear.
He was. I think. Larry's just a laid back guy in general. I only got to speak to him briefly because I thought, I'll wait till after the show and we'll catch up and things like that. And he was like, yeah, no worries. But he was just knackered. All the training and everything he does. He was just tired. He attended the event. He probably stayed for maybe 5 or 10 minutes at the afterwards, but then he's just like, I need to go to bed.
So, are you planning on, more trips to Dubai?
Mate, they just got to message me. They just got to tell me I'm there, and I will clear the dates. Yeah, Dominic. It was very, very hard to describe because we've hung out a few times, whether it was over the top or the Sydney, the New South Wales State Championships, and you and I, we're no different. So it was just my awe of being there was just like this is amazing, and I genuinely hope everyone gets to appreciate because even if you're just there in the crowd. Afterwards, you get a lot of access to the athletes.
Well, I think you made everyone comfortable, and especially like the European arm wrestlers with their their language barrier. You made everyone happy, and that I think that's great for the sport. You're not coming down on them or something. Picking on their faults or something like that. But you make everyone feel just as good as each other, regardless who they are. And so I appreciate that you bring out of some of those, you brought smiles out of Schoolboy. I've never seen him smile once.
Yeah, they're little it's funny you mention that because they're little personal challenges to me because, Schoolboy with the language barrier, Schoolboy and David Dutta Khan were my two targets. So a fun story. David's just dead serious all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Unless you know him. First thing I do, we walk into the space. This is about an hour and a half before the press conference.
Yeah.
And I walk in and he's there and he's mean mugging everyone. And he's just got that, I don't know, if he was a woman, it would be resting bitch face. So I walk in and he just looks at us. I'm sure he's got zero idea who I am. And I'm like, Dave, come here. And he just kind of looks at me and I go, come here. And I give him a big hug and he just gives me a smirk and then shake his hand. We get a photo and things like that. And so he was, probably had no idea what I was saying. But, because I think it was me, Ryan, Coach Ray, and Lockie all came in together. So obviously he knew I was a part of the arm wrestling crew. But I was just like, for me, I don't care who you are. I don't think, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think Schoolboy's higher than Dom. You know what I mean? Like, you're both people. You're both a part of arm wrestling. I'm excited to see everyone.
Well, I just appreciated your knowledge about all the arm wrestlers. Like, it's if you're a horse racing announcer or something, or the Olympics, announcing the Olympic runners in the 100-meter final, like, you have to know about all the competitors, and you seem to know a lot about everyone. So that's amazing that you like some commentators, they don't know anything, right? So you did your homework there.
Well, it's yes, in a way. I didn't go out and actively study. This was just so a little insight, Dom, with everything that I do. So just watching everything. I watch so much arm wrestling all day, every day, because I just love it. And you know, when you love it, you pick up bits and pieces. But when it came to the press conference, the pre-show, the main event itself, I don't know if this works for me or against me. Personally, it works for me, but there is zero planning. That was all on the fly.
Okay.
Let's go, because I feel if I have notes personally, I would be too focused on those notes, and I feel it would interrupt with my flow, interrupt with my silly dumb one-liners. I think like I remember like at the end of the event, I was like, did I just quote the children's book Goosebumps like during the biggest event of the year? Like, what am I doing? So I think whilst I do it, everything was ad-libbed. Sometimes like I was mentioning earlier, sometimes I encourage things go wrong because I want to showcase that, you know, I'm not just a one-trick pony. I'm not just a ready bang or an F-bomb. I just want to show people that, okay, Khaled's giving me nothing. That's all right. You wouldn't even know. You wouldn't even know.
So you're like adaptable, right? Because you've been over to the UK, right?
Yeah.
And you have different audience. So anyway, that's why we love you, mate. So I'll let you get on with your show, and just wanted to thank you for I was blown away. Like those matches were just you can't. I'm still in shock. I mean, the Dave Chafee match was with Vitali was crazy, and my son and I, we didn't want to read anything on YouTube or Facebook. We didn't watch it live, but we watched it. We came home and we were so excited. We sat down, and it was just like blew me away how good the matches were.
Yeah, if you obviously your club's booking an event, that's exactly how you want your main event to go. You want one guy to be winning 2-0, the other guy to come back 3-2, and then it goes to a silver bullet. There's the photo of the blood on the peg. Like as I was in Dave's corner, his hand's bleeding, and some got on my jacket. It was.
We'll be talking about this for months to come, mate, and years to come. All right,
absolutely.
I'll let you go, buddy.
Oh, quickly, Dom, is your competition being live streamed? Is the Canberra comp?
Yeah. It's going to be on Facebook Live, I believe, or YouTube. Either way, I'll
Canberra Arm Wrestling Club, guys. Keep an eye on the Canberra Arm Wrestling Club, Facebook or YouTube, please. I'll be at an event on the other side of Australia. But we'll make sure both comps are supported. Canberra Arm Wrestling Club is the newest arm wrestling club in Australia. But the people there, I met about 15 of you guys. Well, I knew you and your son before that, but met 15 other people from their club, and they are top-notch people that you want at your arm wrestling club. So please, Canberra Arm Wrestling Club, go and support them.
Yeah, no. We understand that there's another event on South Australian Titans guys, and, all the best to them, and we love them too. So
it won't happen next year, mate. It won't happen next year. We'll make sure. And I'll help out any way I can.
Ready, bang.
Yeah, Dom, my man.
Weak.
You take care, buddy, and I'll speak to you soon.
See you, mate. Thanks.
So Dominic Lorenz, you've seen him in the chat. He's always watching all the shows. The guy, once again, it's a dead set legend. Couple of super chats. We'll wrap up in about 5 minutes because then we've all got to jump over to the Uncle John Arm Wrestling channel. Please, please, please. And we have White Wolf. Definitely want to see Jake commentating more in addition to emceeing. Brings the lightning. Ready Fang. Oh, and Arm Gods rock. Ooh, have I... Actually, let me get that up. That reminds me. Maybe I didn't. Oh, it's because I need to find that video Marcus sent me about Arm Gods. Because I'm just going to put Arm Gods on the screen. Guys, Arm Gods, if you can, go over. Email. All you got to do is just chuck in an email. Bang. Notify me. It is just that simple. Thank you for submitting. This is going to be the 5th biggest. No, not the 5th biggest. Number 5. So we've got a top 4. King of the Table, East versus West. Arm Wars, Monster Factory. No particular order. Boom. Arm Gods. It's going to be a top 5. It's going to be a top 5. And all you got to do at this stage, they're not asking for money. They're not asking you to watch videos just yet. All you got to do is just whip in your email address. Look up here, armgods.com. Put it over there. Matches are going to be announced soon. Big names are going to be there, and you better bloody believe it. The Aussie Arm Wrestler is going to be there. First event is in January, and I'll once all the matches are being announced, I'll start getting the athletes on the channel. So thank you very much, Whitewall, for the reminder. And then his tag team partner just comes in. Jay, thank you very much for your super chat, Marcus Thompson. Every single bloody day I get this. It is just ridiculous. And Marcus Thompson's one of the brains, if not the brain, behind armgods.com. Marcus has not asked me to promote it at all. He's not that kind of guy. He believes the way he does business, he can make sure it works by himself. So I just do this out of the kindness of my heart, and I want to be a part of the event. Of course I do. I want to be a part of Arm Gods. He says, Jay could host knitting and make it ready bang exciting. Infectious personality, no agenda, just the top bloke. So enough of that nonsense. Did I mention Arm Gods? There you go. We got Arm Gods on the TV. I'm glad you see that, Marcus, before I wrap up the show, because yeah, when I speak to people, it's not what can I get out of Marcus? You know, what can I get out of Uncle John or Sarah or Dom who just come on the show? For me, it's just cool. You love arm wrestling, so do I. Let's chat. Oh, awesome. Oh, cool. You like arm wrestling? Awesome. Oh, you think I'm a dick and don't like my channel? That's all right. Give me a couple of weeks. I'll win you over. That's fine. You know, yeah. So I'm glad you and everyone else is seeing that, guys. It's going to be awesome. And I do apologize that my wife called you Willy Wonka. I thought that was funny, man. I thought that was very funny. I thought that was very funny. Yeah. Thank you very much. And I hate taking your super chat off, but we'll quickly say hi to everyone before we wrap up the show. Ryan Bussiere, who had an awesome showing at a recent tournament. Congratulations to him. He says, Aussie Arm Wrestler is the man. That's right. Armgods.tv. See you later, Crunchy. Crunchy Crackers 73. See you, mate. Thank you for tuning in. Guaranteed crowd energy at Arm Gods event. Yes, I think I'll be side by side with Paul Maiden, and I love hanging out with that guy. I love hanging out with Paul Maiden. Just dude gets it. All the good names are going to be there. The charismatic Aussie arm wrestler, aka who made Ready Bang famous. Yeah, man. Even before I got on King of the Table, I was like, if I stopped arm wrestling, I felt like I've made my mark on the sport, which is very hard to do. To get a catchphrase over in, AFL footy or NFL or NBA, it's very hard. And I'm able to, in the 3 years I've been in the sport, it has just been something else. And that's why I always say I just went from the kitchen bench to King of the Table. It was awesome. Where will Arm Gods be happening? It will be happening in Ireland. First event is in Ireland. You are going to see, I'm telling you, you're going to see some Americans, you're going to see some Canadians, you're going to see some Aussies, you're going to see some big names. Trust me when I say it. You're going to see some big names, but you're also going to see some untapped local talent from Ireland, Wales, England, Scotland. This event's going to be mega. It's going to be mega. And I'm very honored that that Arm Gods want me a part of it. There you go. Ireland, January. Lock it in. Chemistry will be electric. We still need a ready bang alarm clock. Does anyone know how to... maybe I should make a... Oh, Marcus, with all the talents you do you know anything about app development? Mobile app development? Got a funny idea. Alrighty. I'm going to jump off now because I just realized the time. Head over to Uncle John's Arm Wrestling Show and tell him that the Aussie Arm Wrestler see you. Get over there right now. I'm going to wrap up the show. Let's all go to Uncle John's Arm Wrestling Show and support. Marcus, I just might message you something to see if you find it funny. We'll get there. Guys, thank you very much for support. After you're with Uncle John's Arm Wrestling Show, watch a few of my videos. Do everything you can. Irakli, Khalid, they're going to be some future guests on the show. I love you all, you dead set legends. And as always, ready, bang! See you over at Uncle John's.